What if your life was an invitation and everything wasn't just happening to you, but through you? When you start to believe in the magic of you, you become it. This is your invitation to heal and rise above into the fullest expression of you. This is the Liz Svatek Show, and your transformation starts now. Let's begin. Welcome to the show, the Tracy Litt.
Hello. I am so excited.
I'm so excited. And this is so, I just showed you the intro. So this is like brand new show, right? I remember when you were like, what needs to change? And I said, Conversations with Warrior Woman needs to become the Liz Svatek Show. But it took me this long to be like, well, what does that actually mean? Like, what is the difference, right, between what I was doing before? Because I had you on Conversations with Warrior Women. We had incredible conversations that were in-depth and amazing, and everybody knows how in love with you I really am. You're my mentor. You're my mother. You're my sister. You're my friend. You're my everything. You're everything to me. And so now I'm in this new iteration with you where I'm looking to have conversations with people who are thought leaders, who I'm going to be coaching people on the show. I'm going to have, just these really incredible stories of transformation. And so, of course, I have to have you on because you fit all the things. You fit all the things, Tracy.
Thank you. I received that. And I want to start by saying, in witness of you and all of these gorgeous listeners, it's because you are a conscious woman who's committed to evolving. That's why and how you're sitting here in this, which is a next evolution expression of who you have become.
Yes.
And in 3 years, maybe 4, maybe 8, whatever, space-time is irrelevant, you'll have another evolution, right? And that to me is such a vital thing that we cannot discuss enough, that you are sitting where you are, I am who I am, because at the core, we know that the inside generates the outside. And the singular focus and commitment is, I am a conscious woman who is committed to evolving. And in that opens everything else that's possible for you.
Absolutely. And I think what's so amazing is you and I have been on a journey for a long time, right? So around 2020, we kind of started like hanging out. I started becoming aware of you. I had you on my podcast, and then I went into your world, right? And I became a certified neuroidentity evolution coach through your school, the School of Becoming, right? So I watched you launch the School of Becoming. I watched you. I was in the first ever cohort of being a practitioner for you. I was there at the retreat where you were like, and now I will offer a certification. And I was like, and I will do that with you. And we were both kind of like two little deer with our legs like wobbly together. But I was like just following along with the evolution of you, hoping to get to start evolving me, right?
Yes.
And so this is why I really love having you on right now, is because I also see that for you. Like, I've been at so many of your retreats. I've been in your programs. I've seen so many things that you've done, and I've watched you evolve, right? Which is fun for me too, because I love to see what you're doing next. I love to see what you're interested in, what you're figuring out, because when we started this journey, both of us, we have totally different feelings and thoughts and ideas about what transformation looks like, what really needs to happen to make transformation actually take place, what women actually need right now, what men actually need right now. So it's like a different conversation. It's a different conversation.
It is. And that's what makes it so stimulating and so fulfilling. And why I get like crazy love, yell, scream, rant, and rave about this is everyone's divine moral responsibility, because when you evolve, you become more and more fulfilled, not by what you create outside, but because of how in touch you are with yourself inside. And then from a business and impacts perspective, you can't evolve as the visionary or the founder or whatever each individual listen might refer to themselves as, and not have the output that comes from you evolve also, right? It is so imperative. So I love to create. I just said to David last night, I'm like, I just want to know what's going to happen next. Like, so let's just keep going. Like, I don't know. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's throw a gala. Open a school. Let's scale.
Yeah.
Let's be the biggest online education company for women. Let's just what?
Yeah.
Right. And not because any of us, I think this is really important for every listener, have any idea what we're doing,
Yeah.
because we don't. And even when you come to me and I get to be a mentor, I have mentors and have other mentors, they don't know what they're doing either. And I think it's really, really important that we kind of level set that this is a lot of how good are you at loving the unknown, and how willing are you to lean into the abyss of nothingness and risk and see what's going to happen on the other side.
100%. Have I mentioned we curse on this podcast too? Okay, great.
Good.
100%. Okay, so this is the conversation that you and I were like, well, what should we talk about? We could talk about so many things. I would love to talk to you about capacity. I think that this is a really interesting conversation and a really exciting conversation, because just like you're saying, right? If you're not evolving, if you're not growing, if you can't hold in your body, hold in your soul, hold in your mind, hold in your being, even the idea that you could have a school of becoming, or a gala with Marianne Williamson, or in my case,
Yeah.
be hosting retreats, and I'm writing a book this year, and I'm doing a TED Talk. I have to be able to hold that capacity. I have to be able to believe that that capacity is real for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
um, so that I can actually enjoy it, Tracy.
Yes.
Like, otherwise, what it will be a log flume Disneyland ride to hell without it. So let's just, where do we start? Where do you want to start with capacity? We could
Okay.
go in 100 different directions. We
Yeah.
could disco ball it. We
Yeah.
could, what do you
Yeah.
want to talk about first? What do
Oh
you
my
want?
God. Okay. So what I really want to talk about, which is interesting, and it's really good because I had an lightning strike epiphany around August to September of last year, where I realized, and I've been teaching capacity a long time, right? We work together. And any teacher that you listen to that speaks about capacity speaks about it in the old lens. And then my epiphany happened and it changed everything. So
What's happening?
capacities, okay, get ready, because this is
Ready?
like
I'm
one.
like bracing myself right now. Brace.
Okay. Capacity is not about holding. Okay. We think it's about holding. How much can I hold? How do I expand myself to expand the container, to hold more, to hold the book, to hold the launch, to hold the school, to hold all these things. And how this happened for me, which really I know now happened through me because I had to deliver this in as many spaces as possible. Zoe had gone to college, so our youngest finally moved. I have 3 daughters that are all in college now, okay? So, hey, empty nesting. Okay, we'll talk about how that does not suck as well, okay? Uh, it's like, oh my God.
That does not suck. Okay.
Okay. And so, she's leaving. And so obviously the emotion of that, and then now what that marks to the last one being gone. We are in the middle of renovating our dream condo that we are now living in. So I'm in the middle of literally in the morning cleaning out a garage because we're leaving the house that we raised the girls in. And I'm crying in Zoe's 3-year-old basketball shorts as I'm cleaning out the attic, right? And then later that afternoon, I'm coming to the condo to meet with the contractor to be like, yes, I like that. No, I don't like that. So I'm living in the past and the future at the same time. It was the weirdest experience. And things are happening with the business and growth and team stuff and things not going the way that we need them to go. And then other things coming through that I'm like, wait a second. Yes, but that's not something that I was anticipating yet. And all of these things were happening. And in the meantime, Taylor's college apartment gets mold and something happens with it, just life. And then I walk out to my car and there's a flat tire and I miss this meet. All the things that I could make up in a movie are happening in the same crunch of time. And some of my friends and peers are saying to me oh my God, I'm getting Voxes oh my God, I don't know how you're doing it. I don't know how you're holding it all. Oh my God, I would have died already. I would have broken under the pressure. How are you doing it? How are you holding this? How are you holding this? And I went, oh my God, I'm not holding it. I am so regulated and so present that I'm actually just allowing it. I'm experiencing it. And what I recognized is that capacity isn't about holding because that creates more pressure and more constriction, correct, and that heaviness. Capacity is about your ability to be so present and so allowing that things just move through you. So if it's the happening, if it's the emotional circumstance, if it's the moment, you're not holding anything. You are so clean and clear that you become this vessel that can experience true, to use your word, limitlessness,
Yes.
because there's not like, oh, wait, can I hold one more thing? No, it's the complete opposite. It's an expansive energy, not a contracted energy.
Yes. I mean, this is so interesting because the way when people come to me for like rapid transformational therapy, sometimes it's because they're in deep grief, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, I'm not removing this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just letting you know.
Yeah.
It's going to feel lighter. It's going to
Mhm.
feel better. You're going to feel like you're not choking because I'm going to put the ease back in your body. It's going to like it, and that's exactly what it is. But I never say I'm going to take it away. Like it's not going to be gone completely because I always say grief has to move through you. Like your
Mhm.
emotions have to move through you. And I always like,
Mhm.
I don't know what those things are called. Like when you take when you were a kid, you had the sandbox and the sand would like the sifters.
Yeah,
You,
yeah,
the
yeah.
si- I always say, you got to be the sifter.
Mhm.
You got to let it almost like it's like a little river, a little stream, and you're just the rocks. You're just like letting it go by and you're just kind of like letting it go because the more you hold on to it,
Mhm.
the more it feels harder that way.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
literally I had a disagreement with my mother who you love and know. My mother's been to your retreats. We've been,
Yeah.
healing in tandem a lot. We've really changed and grown our relationship. We had a little like disagreement and it felt old. It felt
Mm.
like us before we were doing the healing journey. It just felt so yucky and
Yeah.
terrible and heavy. And I was so shocked because I was like, I thought we had like gone so far beyond this. Oh my God, And then I thought, what if I just like let this go?
Mhm.
Like, what if I don't hold it? Which is exactly what's coming to me from what you're saying. Like, what if I don't
Yes.
hold it at all? What if
Yes.
I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to try to make it go away.
Mhm.
I'm just not going to hold it. I'm going to let it move through and I'm
Mhm.
going to allow it. And I did. And it was the only thing that would just release the pressure of it for me. And now I'm still kind of like moving through it a little bit. But
Mhm.
my God, what I was trying to do was hold it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was trying to hold it and it was choking me. And then I was trying to absolutely shame myself like, girl, you're beyond this. Girl, you've done
Yeah.
this before. Girl, girl, girl. And then I'm like, well, that's not working. That none of that works, right?
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
love this concept of not holding it.
Right. Because holding on actually takes more energy than letting go.
Yes.
Like, let's be there with that. Holding on takes more energy than letting go. Think about it like if you take your hands right now and you clench them together and you white knuckle and you hold. It's like hold. It's like trying to dangle your body and hold your body weight and not let go, right? Takes so much energy out of you. And then what happens is an immediate and constant undercurrent of dysregulation, which keeps you in a contracted state and it keeps you in the opposition of the elevated frequency that we all are capable of experiencing, right? We talk all about it, joy and love and trust and oneness and abundance. And that's the truth of what you are. But when you are habitually, because it's all habitual, because it's based on your identity, holding on and holding on and holding on, you hold on because it affirms the identity of all the shit and the pressure and the guilt and the shame. Then it's like, oh, that's familiar. Hi. And then you start to kind of spin out in that. It's like, hold on a second. What if one of the easiest ways for me to arrive at the truth of what I am is to learn how to be better at letting go? Every time I catch myself, my body in that moment, that constriction, that tensity, just going, "Ooh, hold on." Like kind of drop your shoulders down, open your chest up, put your heart to the cosmos, if you will, and just,
Yeah.
right? And what that truly allows for is allowing.
Yeah.
And then you become receptive. And then you are moving away from control and you're moving into trust. And that's when these marvelous synchronicities start to come. That's really just because you finally got out of the way. Because we know that the universe is going to do more for you than your control addiction ever will. Even though you're like, no, but I can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got that. Tell
Yeah.
me, I want to know a moment in your life, like what's coming to your mind when I ask you the question, what is the fucking hardest thing you had to allow?
Ooh. Other people to make mistakes in my company.
Ooh, yes.
Easy.
Yeah, tell me. Why was that so hard?
Easy. Because
Because it's your company.
yeah, well, why was it so hard? It was so it was so hard, and it's something that I've, like, really done some profound work on because my adaptive behavior was control, and I used to get, like, prideful and excited over having my hands in all the pots. And then I realized that to be effective, to be an enlightened leader, to scale something to the size of my ability to vision, then I have to let go. And in letting go, mistakes started occurring,
Mm,
which is inevitable. There isn't anyone worth listening to that's gonna tell you, "And then I let my team lead, and we rose off into the night, and it was fucking glorious." It's not the thing. Mistakes are inevitable because that's just the function, just like failure is inevitable. They're kind of one and the same. So that definitely was the like, just in that, truth, honesty, when you asked the question, it was like, boom, that absolutely. Even what's interesting about that is even, quote, harder than, like, allowing my children to go to college and allowing my oldest to live with her boyfriend and allowing them to, like, have agency and all of that stuff,
yes.
that didn't plague me once,
Mhm.
but this did.
Yeah. And I think what's hard is in our, our little patriarchal world, right? Women are like, that's how I'm successful. I have to control all the parts. I got to do it better than anyone would ever do it before because I'm competing in essence in a man's world, right?
Mhm.
But again, we don't wanna do it the way I mean, this is 2025, right?
Yeah,
We are
yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah.
whole other landscape. This is a whole other universe that we are going to be living in. I think people are gonna be very shocked about how this year actually goes down. It's gonna be
Mhm.
a year of huge transformation, huge growth, but some pain along the way and letting go of old systems and systems crashing down and not doing it. And oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. And I thought it was all going to go this way. And now it's not going that way. It's going to happen for everyone this way.
Mhm.
Luckily, you and I like the unknown. So it's going to be maybe jarring, but we're still going to be like, well, this is still fun, right? Like it's still
Yeah.
fun. But that's the way we've done it, right? That's what women think. That's the way we've done it. And when I tell women things like, no, we're gonna be easy about this. We're not
Mhm.
gonna we're not
Mhm.
gonna we're not gonna that don't I always say don't make your business a hot dog factory.
Mhm.
Like you're
Say more.
going out of corporate,
Mhm. Right.
you're leaving a sales job, you've been killing yourself, you're dying. We now are starting this entrepreneurial journey. You are gonna be doing the things that God gifted you with. This is literally your dream life. Oh no, let's make it the same
Yeah.
as your current job and kill ourselves and make it hard and make it stressful. I watch them do it all the time. And no, we're not doing
Mhm.
that because this is the whole reason you're going to leave that thing and how you're going to make more money and all that stuff is if we're going to have chest out, arms open, and we're just going to be like, and then you know what? And then the shit's going to go down and your assistant's going to fucking send that email that you told her not to send without the proofreading. And it's
Yeah.
going to have 700 spelling errors and you're going to launch the program and no one's going to come. And
Yeah.
then you're going to pitch it and you're going to sell it and everyone's going to be like, that's too expensive. And you thought the price was actually low to begin with. I mean, all those things. Right? Like, and
Yeah.
you're laughing your ass off because
Yeah,
I'm
well,
laughing my ass off.
it's everyone's, it's everyone's experience, and I think there's so many things in what you just said, but the thing that I want everyone to hear and understand, which is literally why I built a school around it, right? Like when we talk about like who I was and who I am and who I'm becoming, it's all about your identity. And that's literally the answer to why does a woman leave corporate? To experience the freedom she desires, utilizing the vehicle of her unique gifts and her calling, and then unconsciously wake up having created a job for herself that feels 10x as stressful as that corporate job actually did. It's because she's still living in the identity of the employee and she hasn't yet shifted into the identity of the founder, the freedom founder, the entrepreneur, what have you. So I will always die on the sword that the only singular priority each one of us have is to go within and evolve our identity over and over and over and over, right? This is the work. Like the fact that I am sitting here and I literally going through the neuroidentity evolution work that is the work of the science of becoming. I still use it all the time. I'm in it right now as we have these next scale plans for the school and all of these things are happening. It's like, okay, I'm going again and I'm working these things and I'm doing these things because the way you experience life and the results that you generate are based on who you perceive you are, thus who you behave as and the words you use and the energy that you emit and the habits that you exude. And that's the focus point.
Yes,
It has to be.
it has to be. I love that. And you know what? I always think I hate conversations where don't tell the things, where they don't say, actually, that's the hardest thing for me. And I'm still dealing with like my employees, or I'm still doing the work. Like it's such a joke to think that you've arrived at this destination where nothing's hard. Even when you blow it out of the water, right? You make more money than you ever made. You're just doing amazing. You're doing amazing things. People will say to me, "You're killing it." And I think, "You have no idea. You're seeing me on social media. I could be making $10. Like you actually don't know what I'm doing at all." Like
Mhm.
but just because I'm visible, I
Mhm.
seem like I'm killing it. They have no idea how the capacity that I've built to be able to go on social media absolutely free and easy. Don't care if anybody likes this post at all. Don't
Yeah.
I'm gonna launch this thing. Don't care if anyone comes. I just love it. I think it's the greatest, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
that takes building. So I love that you're saying that because I feel like
Yeah.
that's exactly what it takes. And
Yeah.
it's the evolution of that identity. Talk about the disco ball because it's my favorite, and I
Okay.
just love I can just visualize it, so that's why I love it the most. Tell me about the
Yeah. So actually, what's interesting is the disco ball concept came from two places. It came from I was voxing with my good friend Kathy, and it came out of like a back and forth moment with her where, we were both pushing each other like, go more, go more, go more, go more, go bigger. And there was reticence on her end about, well, like what happens if I trigger people, right? So that was like the first seed plan. And then I was hosting Capacity. It was a one-day live event I did last year where I broke down exactly what we're talking about. And there was the ceiling at and it was in one of the ballrooms, and it's actually like a disco ball mirror tiles, the whole ceiling. And I look up and I was like, okay, so here's what it means to be the disco ball. Because what else is in our divine responsibility? It is to be unapologetically, fully expressed, take up space, release the responsibility you're holding for how people are going to respond to you, right? Leave the fucking codependency behind already. Step into the truth of who you are, only aligned and governed by your own terms and nobody else's, including your mothers and your spouses and your kids and everybody else that the old school, to use your point before, wants to convince you it should be your guiding light, right? Which means this whole journey is really, really rebellious and really, really scary, as it should be, because you are actively breaking paradigms, right? Like we're breaking and dismantling paradigms by who we be now. And part of that is to shine like a disco ball, to shine and spin and realize that what does a disco ball do? Because it has mirror. A disco ball is made out of tiny pieces of mirror,
Yes.
which means that when you shine as the disco ball and the mirrors are spinning and the woman to the next to you looks and sees your disco ball, one of two things happens. She sees herself in that mirror and she goes, oh, fuck yes, queen, I can spin too. And she starts to spin. Or equally as satisfying, and I would argue more, is the other woman looks and is like, ugh, and sees herself and is so triggered by your shininess and how big you are and how loud and bold and aligned and authentic you are that a trigger takes place. And because you are a disco ball, you're not owning her trigger, nor are you shrinking to avoid the trigger, which is, I see more women shrink to avoid triggering someone else than I see anything happen in the past year.
Yes.
Right? Why are you doing that? Well, I don't want to I just don't want to trigger. No. When you are not willing to disco ball, I need you to see it this way, world that is listening. You are selfishly taking away another person's opportunity to choose a moment of introspection and healing and awareness. And how dare you think that the world spins around you that much that you can decide who you are and aren't going to trigger, and then that just creates a contortionist thing in you? It's like, oh, wait a second. So what Tracy's yelling at me about right now is my job is to take up space and shine my light unapologetically from a place of pure fucking love. And when I do, I will either model something amazing and radical and elevated for the people paying attention, or I will gift someone a moment where they can choose their own journey and hopefully choose to dive into that moment of trigger.
First of all, I love this. Second of all, I just bought disco ball pajamas, so I will be sending you a pair of disco ball pajamas. So just let me know your
Yeah.
size, because I
Okay,
really do
great.
think that we need to matchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're pink, so they're really epic and they're very soft. I love this because the way I teach this is it's the ripple effect,
Yeah.
right? Because I coach a lot of moms, right? And I coach a lot of moms. I really love the 40, 50, 60, 70 zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these women have adult children. They have children who are going to college. They have children who are out of college in jobs, and they're bumping into everything, Tracy,
Yes.
right? Having some struggles. And they want to really focus on that. They want to talk about them and like, how do I help them? And da 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 da. Da. And I keep on saying, well, when you help you, and then you're going to be the right. And at first they think I'm crazy, right? But then they start to see how the more they work on themselves, the more they become the woman that they are really meant to be, like what they're really here for, their legacy, their purpose, all of it.
Yeah.
That child is like, oh, snappity snap. It really, it's the ripple effect. And I'm not okay at all, and I would go on a soapbox for 10 years about this, doing somebody else's personal growth homework.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When my mother and I had this little disagreement, I found myself trying to get in her lane, trying to convince her, Tracy. Don't you see it this way? Look at how coaching her. And I thought, this is not my homework. I have to let her bump it and figure this out. I cannot do this homework. I have to let her be disappointed. I have to let her go on a journey. I cannot do this work for her.
Yeah.
You cannot do somebody else's. You're hijacking their journey. You're doing their work for him. So when you contort yourself, like you're saying, when you are like, well, with Tracy, I'll be the disco ball. But with my husband, I'm going to just fucking turn that shit off. I'll just be a regular red rubber ball. I won't be shiny. Or with Tracy, because she loves me and she thinks I'm amazing, I'll be a disco ball. But around my girlfriends, I will not, because they will think I think I'm too much. What you're doing is you're not triggering that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not inspiring that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so there will be no ripple effect. And so they will never get to do that personal growth homework. They will never get to experience transformation, whatever that looks like you're saying. It could be like, well, shit, I want to do a book and a TED Talk. Liz, how are you doing this? I want to hear more. Or, oh my God, who does she think she is booking a TED? Like she has a fucking book to write? What the fuck is she going to say? Whatever it is. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it is so fucking important to not do somebody else's homework. But I also want to say the person you trigger may be your child. The person you trigger may be your child. And it's okay. It's okay if when you are coming into this new season of your life in the 40s and 50s and your kids are fucking evolved You got some evol I love your kids. I'm obsessed with Taylor, you know that already.
Thank you.
But my kids are some evolved kids too.
Yeah.
But even then, right? We could be doing things, moving into new businesses, and they could be like, "Hey, mom, that's a lot,"
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's totally okay. It's more than okay. And the other side of this that I want to just like, is it's also you living free, right? Because really, when we're talking about you being the disco ball, like imagine a world where you simply are without thought or planning or concern or guilt or you're just being in life, right? That's authenticity. So it's like your biggest and easiest way of living. It's okay if it inspires others. It's okay if it triggers others, but I'm after you prioritizing your inner environment. And anything that is shy of, I'm who I am all the time. You can put me on this call with you. You can plop me on a stage of 1,000. You can put me on the couch with David. You can stick me at dinner with my family. You're getting the same version of me all the time, and take it or leave it, either way, awesome, right?
Right.
So that's the part of it. It's like, it's actually the way to live. It's simply so unfamiliar because every woman has been so entrained to obviously put ourselves last, right? I mean, like how many times we hear the put your oxygen mask on analogy first, or you can't fill from an empty cup. And like, quite frankly, I can't talk about that anymore. Like, I can't. Ladies, you can't be against yourself. What the fuck else do you need to understand for you to finally show up differently? Like, I'm at the point where I need to be having a higher level conversation because it is foundationally unacceptable. And I'll throw this in just because I love you. If you actually want to love your kids, you're going to stop that shit right now
Oh my God.
because that is what you are modeling and it is doing the direct opposite of what you want for them.
1000%. And even for men, Trey, like
Mhm.
I think about men who are in their families, they are just the paycheck, man. They just gotta earn that money. Where is their disco ball? Like, they don't get they're in a land of obligation, they're in a world of hurt, and then they just feel dead inside because it's
Yeah.
just so much. And listen, we all feel that, right? We all have family obligations and things we gotta do and get a kid up across the finish line of high school or college or whatever we're trying to kind of, like, come alongside of. But
Mm.
even for them, and what a beautiful thing to think about, like, what does a disco ball love? Another fucking disco ball.
Mhm.
Because what is it gonna do? It's gonna
Right.
be, like, shining and spinning, and it looks over and goes, "Oh my god!" and
Yeah.
sees another one. It's gonna shine and reflect that
Yes.
other disco ball, and then it's gonna
Exactly.
look to the right and go, "Oh my god, there's another one!"
Yeah.
And so, like, a room full of people because that's also what happens, right? Is that you reflect another person's light. If you're a disco
Mhm.
ball, you
Yeah.
reflect that other person's light. You reflect that other person's amazingness, and you're thrilled by it, you're excited by it, like a room full of disco balls, people are mesmerized by
Yes.
a room full of disco balls, right?
Yes.
So you're
Yes.
right, if everybody's at that kind of capacity, if everybody's
Yeah.
over here living free and just being a disco ball,
Yeah.
what a beautiful fucking world to
Yeah.
live in.
That's the new world. That's
That's
what we're
the new
all
world.
actively building
That's
as
definitely the
we
new world.
that's the new world, and that's what creates ripple effect, right? When you recognize and you understand, like, you're the variable, and when a variable changes, everything in proximity to the variable has to change in response to the variable shifting. So when you consider that and then you start to shine and spin, right? I'm visualizing like dreidels, right, from Hanukkah. Like, you start to shine and spin, and you're spinning, and then, a bunch of people are like, "Whoo," and then they catch it, and then they start to spin, and then right? And then what is that? That is elevated consciousness. That is joy and oneness and love and compassion and progress and patience and kindness.
Yes.
And at the undercurrent of all of our work, I believe that that is what we are here to achieve. It comes in the form of entrepreneurship and motherhood and more wealth or more visibility and all these beautiful things. But at the core, we are responsible to elevate the consciousness of our world while we're in our physical bodies in here.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's now talk about the practicalities because I don't ever want to do
Mm,
a show where we're not actually giving some kind of tangibles because I'm all about a tangible.
mhm,
So how do we build capacity? I mean, let's go there because
mhm,
that's something real. Like, it's great to talk about, but a lot of people when we are talking like this,
mhm,
like, okay, that sounds amazing. I want to be a disco ball. I don't want to hold it. I want to let it move through. How the
mhm.
fuck do I do that?
I got you.
And I
I got you.
and the cool thing is there are a lot of ways to do this,
Yes.
but I wanna kinda get from you what you
Yeah.
what comes to your mind when I'm saying, like, how do we do
Okay. So I am going to answer this with truly what the number one biggest priority is to experience a truly allowable, expanded capacity.
Okay.
Um, and it's also, you will perceive it as the hardest, but it's really, really important. You must move from suppression to expression emotionally. You must. Becoming a person who feels their feelings so readily,
Yes.
so whenever it knocks on the door to be felt, whether it is grief and rage from 37 years ago or frustration from 17 hours ago, you must become clean and clear in your body. Stuck emotion is a stress cycle. Right? So, really understanding what I say, move from suppression to expression. What I'm saying is all of the repressed, depressed, oppressed, and suppressed emotions create a congestion that will never allow you to fully let go, will never allow that openness and like allowance and like, and this state of true regulation and ease. And emotion that isn't processed keeps your body in a state of stress. And this is really important for everybody to hear. It's not just like, oh, feel your feelings. That'll be nice. It's like, you guys, emotion that starts to come up to be emoted, that is then zhuzhed down or away, literally gets stuck. And it's like active stress that sits and lives in your body until you complete the cycle. And the cycle being complete is based on your ability to process said emotion. Without that, there is literally nothing else. There is no vibration. There is no high frequency. There is no consciousness. There is no rewiring your brain with any level of sustainability. There is no vulnerability. There is no open heartedness. There is no connection. There is no intimacy. Becoming fully emotionally expressed is the prerequisite to your greatness, period.
I love this. I love this, and when you were talking like that, I was thinking, well, yes, because you are the channel. If you just think about, like, the chakra line or your spine, right? You're the channel, and what's so incredible is that God, universe, spirit created us with these skulls that when we're really breathing and we're really meditating and we're having emotion, they open.
Mm,
They open, they're laced like this, and it opens, and you think, "Well, shit, what's that for? Why would we be designed like that, that our skulls would literally when we're meditating or breathing or when we're emoting?" Well, because that's how you get the divine download. That's how source gets to move through you. So,
yeah,
like you're saying, if you've got all this stuck energy, if you're constricted, if you're like and I never forget this, Tracy. I remember, and I was actually at your event. I put up a post about taking a trip on my own, leaving my family and going to your powerhouse, what was then
yeah,
We're the Human Powerhouse, whatever it
yeah.
was, and leaving my family and how that I was, like, afraid almost to post about it because it was like, "Well, what if was she leaving her family, go to this retreat? Who does she like, what in the world?" And I'm like, "You know what? No, I'm gonna post about it." And then I wrote, "And if the tears are stuck in your throat reading this,"
Mm,
I got more DMs about this just thing that women just want time away, time alone, time to just
mm,
sink into themselves, and they feel so guilty to take it. And here I was, I'm like, "I'm taking it. I'm taking it." And that tears stuck in the throat, right? Like so many women or they apologize, "I'm sorry." Like they start crying, "I'm sorry. We apologize." It's like, "Oh my gosh." that how do you be a disc ball? You have to have a clear channel, like you're saying. You have to be able to let that out, let it move through, right? And I at my last retreat, I woke up in the morning and I never know how I'm gonna feel, like, when I'm at a retreat, like, I'm always like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel, right? Like, sometimes I'm feeling like I'm really in it, and sometimes I'm feeling emotional, like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel.
Yeah.
And I was feeling super emotional, and I thought, "Wow, I'm really feeling emotional." And so I have a whole playlist, Tracy, of, like, cry songs. And
Yeah.
so I went out and they happen to be a lot of gospel songs, like, I love gospel music, it, like,
Oh,
literally kills me a
heart
little so
opening,
much.
heart opening.
I just can't take it. And so I just went out onto this beautiful property, and I put that playlist on, and I bawled my brains out, and I didn't care what it was about. I don't even know what it was about. I just knew I needed to do it, and I think that's the way we almost need to approach it, because sometimes the why is not that important. It's like, we're all exhausted by the trash can pandas, as I call them, but, like, that flat tire, and my daughter wants to move in with her boyfriend, and they just made a mistake, and I'm getting this condo, and I gotta cry over the 3-year-old basketball shorts, and sometimes we don't even know, like, it's just life, like lifiness, right? And you don't need to be like, "Well, why? Why am I crying? What is wrong?" I don't it's like, sometimes it's like, "No, just cry."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, 1,000%. And so let's use that and take the how even deeper, right? So if the biggest, highest answer to an expanded capacity is to become a fully open, expressed woman emotionally, which also, by the way, is how you become expressed vocally and physically. You want to have better sex? You clear out your emotions. You want to be visible and actually use your voice and feel grounded, strong, convicted in the words coming out and not shaky and rocky and concerned and insecure. It all lives in your emotional expression as baseline. So, couple things. 1,000% what you're saying. Take the word why out of your vocabulary, period.
Period.
Period. It is a word that only invites in ego, it invites in defensiveness, and invites in judgment. And if you're experiencing emotion, like emotions coming and knocking on you, and it's like, psst, hey, I'm down here in the basement, and I feel like it's a good time for you to feel me. Can you help me out? Right? And then you go, well, why? Why are you here? And why is this happening? Now, what you've done is you push the emotion further down, and now you're dealing with two things: the very innocent, neutral emotion that simply wanted to be witnessed and processed, and your judgment, which is only then story and narrative and more congestion around it. So you've created a bigger, quote, problem than you actually had before, right? So let's invite you to say, there is no why. It's simply, oh, isn't it interesting? Okay. Similar to what you did. Like, okay, cool. Something's tapping me. My body's saying feel something. I'm going to go ahead and honor that. And then that brings me to the next piece is your ability to reconnect or connect to your body is an imperative because you have to be able to re-imprint your nervous system to actually feel safe to tolerate emotional expression because it is unfamiliar to every woman I have I have never in all my space and hundreds of thousands of hours at this point in my career, I have never had a woman that was fully emotionally expressed, ever. So that means that we all know it's unfamiliar at the level of the nervous system. So we work with the body to create that safety so that it doesn't do what you're currently doing, which is push it away or distract yourself or not sit long enough or look up into the light and not let the tears come out.
So interesting that you know so many of these, I'm just saying.
Well, I am you and you are me and we are all one. Like
100%.
oneness is real.
So tell me a little bit because I know I know we're gonna have to wrap up soon, but I can't take this. I'm
No,
like
it's all
loving
good.
this conversation so much. Tell me what was your go-to, "Here's how I'm not going to express emotion." Like the old Tracy, you have to go back in the history books of you. Here's what I would like, what was remember how I used to tell you my favorite thing was I would jump out of my chair and go do laundry?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was hysterical. I would be, like, feeling a feeling. I'm like, "I should go clean something." Now, sometimes a rage clean is a good thing, like a
Yeah.
rage clean, a cry clean. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes also just to kind of process like, something's gone on, I don't even know what's happening. I'm just gonna, like, wash a dish. Like, it's okay
Yeah.
to do that. But it was like an avoidance. It was like, I'm uncomfortable. Let me fly up out of my chair, go somewhere else and do something else. So
Yes.
I'm wondering what it was for you or what it could be still is for you. Like,
Mm,
what was a way you would avoid
mm,
feeling it could be any emotion. It could be, I'm avoiding rage by doing this. I'm avoiding being sad. Like, what would you want to avoid and what would you do to avoid it?
yeah, so for me, it was more about not wanting to express vulnerability.
Mm,
So I was always good at crying, and I got myself pretty good at rage, and the true definition of rage, not the anger that there's a misperception that rage is anger. It's not. Rage is like this luscious bigness of your emotional capacity where you just fucking rage and it's so good. So for me, it was about feeling vulnerability. It was like really, really allowing myself to sit with myself because my avoidant measure was just like productivity and
busy.
busyness,
Mhm.
like I'll just be
Oh my God.
busy and
Raise your hand if you're listening to this podcast right now and you're like, you know what I love to do? Be busy.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
well, especially when you look at, like, when you really and when you all beautiful listeners, you really understand this, right? And you come inside and you do all of this identity evolution work. My addiction to control was the adaptation that perpetuated the busyness and the productivity, because the busier I was, the more in control I was, and the more in control I was, the more whole and valuable that I was, right? And that was like the whole lie. So for me, it was like, oh, can you actually sit long enough to allow yourself to feel that thing that's deep and feels really vulnerable, like the kind of vulnerability where you're like, oh, I might throw up a little bit, like this feels super vulnerable. That was, and I've never been asked this question before, so it's really interesting. It's probably the only emotion that I ever avoided was vulnerability. And I would use productivity as the means to just, okay, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
And I will very, very excitedly say that I can't remember, like, I am so emotionally healthy. I am so emotionally expressed that I mean, years. Years. I am a completely, completely, completely different emotional body than I ever was.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, like,
Because
literally
you
in my
built your
new
capacity.
because of capacity and my nervous system is different and I get the game. I get the game, this is an interesting thing to mention. Well, two things. So like so much so that when I built this new office in the condo, to my left, I don't have any chairs or furniture. I just have a circular white rug. And the amount of times in my day that I spend down there on the floor.
In the
Okay, like,
bus.
in straight up in between calls, like, throwing a little temper tantrum on the floor, or screaming a little, or banging out a little breath work, or doing something to
I
just, like,
love it.
keep it moving. And the thing I wanted to say that I think will be really helpful, because all of this connects to thought, right, as we know, is being able to process and feeling safe processing emotion, which is energy in motion. Emotion is not the things you've been taught that it is. Emotion is simply energy in motion when you are a conscious person,
Yeah.
is to recognize it's so important to do that because of what it does when you have limited thinking, right? So I had a morning a few weeks ago where I woke up, tons of limited thoughts, just swirling all of them. What if this? What if that? And what if this happens and this person falls off? Because we're in the middle of scaling, like real scale, and it's bigger and different than anything I've ever experienced before. So know that too. You get to these beautiful levels and experiences, then you're like, okay, I'm a master. And then you're like, well, I'm going to go for the next thing. And it all just, happens again. So as soon as I noticed those limiting thoughts, what did I not do? I didn't ask why. I didn't try to think about what I was thinking about. I was like, body now. Walked in my office and just went into my body and allowed the body to do all the things. And then I just got up and I was like, couldn't even remember what the fuck I was thinking when I woke up because of the way the body drives our thinking. It's so important.
I mean, I love that you have a fuzzy rug and you throw tantrums on it, and so now I'm always going to picture you, like, on a
I'll
floor.
send you a photo like,
I really
hi,
do.
just crying my face off.
Yeah, I just love I love that, and you know what? To the point, like, to that point, like, building your office, if you're working a lot of people work at home, building your office as almost like a playground for your emotions, like, I love that idea, like, having a Shakti mat, having a like, just having the thing, because I feel like most of us have that in another place. You know, we don't
Yeah.
have that in our actual office. Like
Mhm.
I love that you just have that at the ready. Like
Yeah.
that to me was like the most exciting part of that. I was like, it's right there. You just like
Yeah.
get off the call and go right there.
Literally.
I love this whole conversation. I love you. Um, Before we go,
Yeah.
give us, it's 2025. I don't know if you
Mm.
picked a word or like a theme or like, have you already? Okay, I love this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to reveal mine since
Oh,
you're
girl.
revealing yours, but I want to know what is your word for 2025 and tell me what it means to you.
Ooh, so it's a phrase, and it actually didn't come from like, "Oh, let me pick my word of the year." It came from reflecting on last year and who I need to become to lead what I'm building, and recognizing I had another "how you do one thing is how you do everything" moments,
Okay.
and I am a visionary by every definition of that word, which means I run fast and my ideas are everywhere and I can see into the future and my energy is big and I entrain people really quickly. So what was happening is my visionariness and my bigness and my like, yes, and this and this and this. And then I have all these people around me who are phenomenal and passionate and so loyal to the mission that I would be on a call, even with like new project vendors, and I'd be like, and this, and everybody be like, yes, yes, yes. And then there would be chaos and they wouldn't meet the deadline. And I was like, well, why didn't you just say, I cannot do that? Well, you're just so amazing and everything you're saying. And I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
such
yeah. They were just
buy-in and
drinking the Kool-Aid. They were
right,
drinking the
right. And
Kool-Aid.
I'm just like, no, I'm like, well, you need to work on that for yourself. But like, you just say no to me. You know what I mean? That's your journey.
Work on that.
Right. But what I realized was that way of my grandmother used to say, my mother's mother, when I was little, she used to say, shake a leg. Shake, because I
Oh
used
yeah,
to
shake a leg.
shake a leg, move your ass, right? So I started moving my ass.
Right.
And I created this way of being that was just like go fast, execute, boom, boom, right? Like the year I had last year was insane, all around the epiphany of capacity, right? Because I was creating so much. And what ended up happening was it created this chaos inside of the organization that was masked by passion
Ooh.
and mission. But everybody was, I mean, we do unlimited PTO and I cannot push them to take a day off no matter what I do. Like go, I'm like, take 6 weeks, 8 weeks, do what you want. It's like ridiculous, right? So what I realized is like, oh my God. So as a leader, you have to really realize that you are truly leading and in training. And if I continue to allow this part of me that in a lot of ways is super, super cool to prevail, we will never scale this online education company to where I want to go. So I went, oh God, I actually have to slow down. But not in like a, let me be spacious and let me bring ease to things. I've nailed that already. Like in a, you need to slow down absolutely everything, your approach, the way you think about things, move through it a few more steps in your mind's eye first, be with it fully
Yeah.
so that you can speed up. So
And so
the
that you can
phrase,
convey it. You can convey it the way
correct.
you
So
want
even when I did our annual meeting at the end of last year to bring them into what 2025 is, I explained it all and I was like, hello, this is what my energy has created here. And this is where we're going. Slow down to speed up. That is my year.
So is that the phrase? Slow down to
That's
speed
the
up?
phrase, slow down to
Okay.
speed
But
up.
I was like, is it shake a leg? No.
Oh yeah, no, it is slow. It is
It is
the
the
opposite.
opposite of shake a leg.
Correct. It is
Um,
slow down to speed up.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so my word is breakthrough, which, is funny because that word, I don't know why that word just kept coming to me. It just kept coming to me and coming to me and coming to me and coming to me. And it was in my mind and I was hearing it and I was in my mind. And then I love words so much. I love reading. I read probably like 40 books a year. I love words. And I was going deep on 75,000 definitions of this word. And one of the things it said was it talks about moving beyond the obstacle, it talks about going past enemy lines, and
Mm.
then it talked about moving past protective barriers.
Ooh.
And I thought, "Fuckity fuck yes." Right? I don't want to live in protection of myself. I wanna be able to be my little disco ball self, right? And and really enjoy what I do, and also not be kind of weighed down by thinking that something, the enemy, right? That something's going to happen. If I really do this, like something might happen, or like I don't want to live like that, right? So thinking about what do I need to do to break through emotionally, in my capacity, in my marriage, and with in my relationships, in like what is the breakthrough that I because for through my personal lens of like what is my breakthrough, that feels so exciting to me
Yeah.
to like think about that as a lens. So I
Yeah.
love that. I love that word.
Mm. I love that too. You are the breakthrough. It's beautiful.
Any breakthrough.
You are the
So
breakthrough.
true.
You are.
Well, Tracy, I fucking love you. You know I do.
Love you too.
Thank you for being on the Liz Svatek Show. This is exactly the reason why I wanted to do it. Like
Yeah.
why I wanted to change it, because these are the kind of conversations that I want to have all the live long day. So
Yes.
you will absolutely, I will invite you back if you will come,
Of
and we
course.
will have more fun conversations. But I loved this, and I love I love how you look at capacity, and I think it's a different way than most people think of it, right? Not holding on to it, letting it go, being the disco ball, knowing that you can be the ripple effect, right? And that your job is literally to just be the most emotionally expressed human being
Yes.
that you can possibly be.
Yeah, it's your contribution. It's so much easier to make the contribution than we think it is. It's who you be, how you move across the world, right? Your vibration is your contribution.
100%. Well, I love your damn vibration.
Thank you.
It is so let's shimmy. Shimmy it out, shimmy it out. Okay, well, I love you. Thank you for coming on the show.
I love you.
I adore you. This is an amazing conversation.
Thank
Love you.
I love you so much. Thank you.
Mwah.